So today's video is actually going to be my first manhwa video like I plan to do on this channel. And this one is going to be on a manhwa called Magic Emperor. So crazy story about this specific manhwa is that I have dropped it at like chapter 300. I picked it back up and went all the way up to like chapter 655 to be more specific. And I dropped it again, and I plan on picking it back up, but unlike the first time I dropped it, I'm not going to fully restart again because some of the things I remember in it, I just can't get around. I won't be able to like read it over again. It's just way too much. So to give like a little backstory on this manhwa, pretty much it starts off with the main character being a demonic emperor, and he gets betrayed. He dies, reincarnates into a servant body, and he like immediately started getting these thoughts of like getting revenge, regaining his power, blah blah blah, and try to get up and leave. But then the body rejects, and like because of some type of bond the soul already had, and then the main character then has to stick around the pretty much the lady of the house that the servant body that he just went into pretty much like cared about, and he didn't like it. He kind of just accepted it after a while, and he decided to like protect her. Just think about this like continuously being a storyline for that, and him trying to regain his power, regain the strength to get back to where he used to be, but just stronger. And a lot occurred, a lot happened, and he pretty much already like he gets stuff he didn't have in his previous life. He like gets all these types of powers. He gets help from like way stronger people going down the storyline and all that, and he never actually gets stronger. I don't know how to explain it. So like just think about it being like, if you ever read any type of cultivation type manhwa or anything like that, just think about like he never really left the realm he started in. Like he gained a little bit of strength from there, but then he started getting like artifacts, extra powers, and he just used his smarts from his previous life to carry him. And he just wins fights, which I feel like is kind of weak. I'm gonna be honest. So that was pretty much the first reason I dropped it, and it pretty much carried on and on and on. And it had got to an arc where pretty much one of his love interests got captured, got hurt, and he was like kind of upset about it. And it was kind of at the beginning of that I just couldn't read them, and I decided not to read. And to keep a long story short, that's when I dropped it. It was other things too, but then when I picked it back up, I was reading back over and all that, and something funny happened. It got to like, I think it was either chapter 443 or chapter 444, where the person who gave him powers early on in the story, that had like, he had seen him and was like, why are you still in this realm? You should be way stronger. And like he told him like about the powers he had gave him. I'm gonna like get like a little screenshot of him asking a question, but pretty much I was like laughing at that because I also wanted the same thing. And then is layers, right? So you got the layers and the power scales, right? Just think strong or whatever. I don't remember the exact names, but just think that, and then you have where like everybody. Just think about like little worlds. So obviously the high worlds is where all the strong, super strong people live. The middle worlds is where kind of that's where you like upgraded, you're not weak or whatever. That's where they live, or that's what it's supposed to be. And then the lower realm, obviously everybody not as strong. Everybody kind of fear everybody else in the other realms because they can't really amount to them, and they kind of like trying to figure out how to get to them realms, right? So the main character end up one way or another going to this middle realm. And also, before I get to that, the higher the realms you go, the more resources is available, pretty much, or you can like try to get. And it wasn't bad, until it wasn't super bad until it got to this point for me, because when a main character went to the middle room, everybody was still weak, and some of them people, or a good bit of them people, was known to already be living it, and it was weak. It felt like they was in a lower realm, and like they kind of like painted a picture of like the middle realm and was like going to be super dangerous, and that the main character, even with having all the abilities and powers that he gained in the lower realm that are super strong because he just used them that well, it made no change because all these people was in his realm. And I like, let me elaborate one more time. He barely upgraded since the start of this whole manhwa. So the fact that they're even and he started off in the servant realm, somebody who didn't cultivate, and these people in the middle realm is in his realm, that made no sense to me. And he just had way more of an advantage, given that he can box people up in different realms to him. And it was kind of like, what was the point of this? Like, you should have left him in the lower realm. And it kept on going and going, and then finally it got to chapter 600, and he finally leveled up. And it was like he leveled up 9 levels, I think it was. And it was like, finally. And then it kept on going in the next arc, pretty much. And I'm letting this be known, I skipped over a lot because I don't feel like explaining it, because it felt forced in a way. And I like just say this part so you can get a picture of what I'm saying. Main character pretty much implants like people with some type of bug. After they get implanted with this bug, he can control them and they can do nothing about it. So he did this to one person who was stronger than him, and because the person wanted power. Obviously it's going to work, blah blah blah. And then he tries to do this to somebody who's very, very strong and had lived for like a very long time. But he like looks like a kid pretty much. He looks / acts like a kid, and he's trying to get stronger, so he's eating medical herbs. And pretty much the main character like try to like give him these medical herbs and put the bug inside so he eats it. But he smelled it because his sense of smell is that strong, and just like, yeah, I'm just gonna pluck it out, pretty much. And then at least from that to this special being is scared of lightning. So when the main character sees that, I forgot exactly how it happens, but he pretty much trauma bonded with him at some point. And then the kid pretty much became like his godson. So, or this crazy being that looked like a kid pretty much became his godson. And he pretty much just like uses him when you need him, which is crazy, right? And apparently the kid is a Quinlan. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like the electric being that's kind of like a horse or something. I insert a picture of it, but pretty much is one, like he's like akin to it or something. I don't remember the whole story, but it was like, okay, this plot feel very forced into the main character, like it just felt in his favor a lot. And I just feel like explaining all that would be very annoying. I'll have to go back and look for specific like mentions on it, which I'm just not doing, given, like I said, for me it just felt forced. It didn't feel like it made as much sense as they intended, or at least wanted it to. And it just kind of felt like it was last second and they just threw it in there. But anyway, back to topic. At 600 at chapter 600 he get these powers to get stronger, and then he leaves. He goes to this whole event that the people he trained, and he like makes them like train on the way to the trip, right? And on this trip, the people from the lower realm, somebody from the lower realm that he had feelings for, was a love interest, got captured. Obviously he gonna help, and then he pretty much like that whole thing happens. He fights somebody who I thought was going to be a like kind of like a threat, He wasn't a threat, but the person who got captured previously was a threat. And it was like, yeah, I'm not going to do anything to him because he's the real threat. And it just felt like, I already kind of felt like it was going to go back to the main character kind of lose a little bit, but he's not going to like fully lose because he kind of like knew something or something like that. And it's going to be like a whole repetitive plot point again. And I kind of wanted to drop it at that moment, but I felt like it wasn't as bad as it was when he started losing. But it's really random. Like, let's say he goes like 100 chapters winning. Randomly, somebody pops up super strong. He's like not trying to fight. He's not trying to like convince them. He's not trying to be cunning anymore. He just kind of like trying to leave that person alone, which he doesn't do for most of this. But it's at these random plot points that it just randomly happened. He randomly run into somebody. He's just like terrified. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's not like he's super scared. It's just like he's very cautious. And it's like that's his personality, but it's not fully. It's like he gets overly conscious of it. And pretty much right before I stopped reading, matter of fact, I think it was on the chapter I stopped reading, he had pretty much when he got to the tournament, he ran into somebody, or he didn't. Actually, I'm lying. When he got to the tournament, the viewer seen that somebody else had a power of his, but we all like kind of knew that this power was super good because it's literally called the power of law, like, or the eyes of law or something like that. Like, and it's like, I feel like where this plot finna go, I'm not going to enjoy. But so I stopped reading there, but I kind of want to get back into it because it's a lot I actually do like about it. Like I said, it was one of the first ones that I started reading. The fact that I was able to get back to reading it from chapter 1 all the way back up to chapter 600, obviously I like something about it. I'm not here to just hate on it or anything like that. It just like, I just kind of want to talk about the plots I didn't like and what I felt like was kind of weird. And I know that this video is kind of a little bit all over the place, my fault. But I'm also, to have a little excuse, I'm trying to get back to watching Stranger Things because new episodes dropped and I didn't watch it yet. And I'm currently recording this at 7 a.m. on the 26th. I just wanted to rant a little bit about this one before I forgot about it. So I kind of want, like I said in the previous video, I want to keep a consistent schedule. And yeah, that's all for this video. I hope that everybody has an amazing day, and I hope that you can just enjoy it. And that this video, if you found anything wrong with this video, I also want you to leave a comment to tell me what I can do to improve the experience of watching. So I went back after I got done editing, because I pretty much like finished the whole video and went back to re-record this part because it was certain parts I wanted to go read on and get screenshots to show what I was exactly talking about at certain points, and also insert it at them points, but I felt like it would have been kind of bad editing, so I just decided to put it at the end of the video. And plus how it worked out better because it's only 3 screenshots, as you can see. And pretty much these are kind of like the points I'm like referring to when I'm like, it just feel kind of iffy on him, like on him either not like knowing how to use his strength given he was a demonic emperor in his previous life, or him just like clearly being leads or like being that much stronger than people and being able to box people that's way stronger than him. And it only was iffy because his power always like ranged because of the extra powers he got or the extra buffs he got here, or the fact that he can do this now because he got this in this life that he didn't have in this life, or because he just made this right decision, which I'm not mad about or anything like that. It just kind of got to a point where it's kind of like, okay, he could get stronger while also having these powers and also just doing better, but that wasn't the case. And Obviously, that wasn't what they was going for. It is kind of something I hoped for while reading, and that it just got better, which it didn't, and it's just unfortunate, honestly. But now, for real, this time, this is the end of the video, and I hope that everybody has an amazing rest of their day.